And welcome back to the end of the week of What If, part 8 of, sorry, I think we're part 9 now. I take it back. Part 9 of What If Naruto gained all for one. Did it again. One for all. Damn it, it's just easier to say all for one. One for all. Last time we left with 4, now only, well, sound 5, now only the sound 3. Coming into Konoha on behest of Orochimaru to try to obtain Sasuke, either through persuasion or through taking him. But Team 7 delayed them long enough and even managed to take 2 of them out so that the Anbu and everyone else could show up. Now, should note, Naruto hypothetically should have been strong enough to take them all on, but using the Nine Tails chakra to up that degree would be very taxing on him because he hasn't really done it at this point. And did I say B? I meant A. A, and then B, it's just it was one of those scenarios where there's still no guarantee, and he would have risked really going kind of haywire on the village. A little bit. Not that he would have gone insane and killed people, but it's just better to get other people there than try to take them on your own. One thing that, do I want to bring, I won't really address it, I'll just say this. It had to do with the whole Sasuke being influenced. A longtime viewer of mine commented that that's not quite how it works, and they're not wrong with what they said, but I feel like they're either omitting something or basically what they were. I guess I'll bring it up real quick. Take only about a minute. The idea that the curse arc influences Sasuke. A, does it influence Sasuke only if he lets it influence him? Sure. B, does it influence him while it's definitely activated? 100%. But C, we don't actually know, because that seal is designed to keep it out so long as he wants the curse mark to not to be activated and influence him. We know that's how that works. So, that being said, we also know that the curse mark activated multiple times before he even had that seal put on him. Add on to the fact it's still activated at least once prior to him leaving the village at that point. So we already know that the minor corruption of Sasuke had begun at that point. You then add on all the shit that had been going on prior to this, and this is what I talk about when I say Orochimaru's influence from the curse mark, is that we know for a fact that there was influences on him at that point. When he takes on Naruto in the original, he's already being influenced. Or has been influenced to some degree. Here, that didn't happen. That's why I leaned away from that. But again, they weren't necessarily correcting what I was saying. They were just kind of giving their own take about what's going on with that. So, and I'm not trying to correct them per se. I'm just giving you my take on how I perceive the events going down. Regardless, with the 3-year time skip happened. Now, in that 3 years, All Might definitely would have been getting a couple sessions with Tsunade to help really heal up his wounds. Because when we look at All Might, you kind of get the idea that wound is never 100% healed. It's still always kind of reddish, black and blue, bruised, all that. So it's one of those things where we know he's limited to how much he can do his hero work, all that in the original. And once he gives one for all away, his time is just ticking down. That said, with much better medical attention that we can have in Naruto, I think there's a stability his body can eventually achieve where, yes, he is still ticking down his moments, but now he can kind of just be to All Might if he wants to be, without using his power. Granted, he knows it's better not to do that, but now the ticking down of his power isn't as quick, so he can maintain what power he has a little bit longer. Everyone else doing their epic training, getting that down, great. Naruto. We cut to Naruto coming back from his training with Jiraiya, floating up into the sky, yelling, "I'm back, Konoha!" And everyone's just like, "Naruto!" Everyone meeting him. Sakura says hi. He's like, "You haven't changed a bit." And she just finds him an idiot. He still gets smacked in the head for his new sexy jutsu idea. And then he gets up. They go to meet the Hokage, and they hear the laughing in his head. Like, "Oh, shut up! Oh, come on! It was funny. Seriously, kid, you really need to learn how to talk to women better." And Banjo and Nana and what was his name again? Hold on. Danger Sense was Shinomori. Kikage Shinomori, to be precise. They're laughing, as well as a couple other voices. Now, Let's just get it out of the way right now. Naruto has access to all 6 quirks within One for All. The reason for that is when you think about it, Izuku was gone, I want to say it was like 6 months in the him going rogue arc, and he was able to obtain both Fajin, Smokescreen in that time. And I think even he had access to Gear Shift, he just was told not to use it unless he absolutely had to. Here, though, Naruto's had 3 years. So not just adding Jiraiya's training for his own ninjutsu, but adding the quirks he would get, it would make complete sense that he would have access to all of the quirks at this point. But to what degree? Well, maybe honestly to a pretty mastered degree. He's probably been training greatly. The level of All for One he has, like I did it again, One for All he has, 3 years. 3 years, would he have, oh man, would he have 100% at 3 years? He's already been progressing faster than Midoriya has. I didn't even consider this. Maybe if he doesn't have 100%, he's got like at least an 80%. For the sake of argument, let's say it's like 80%, just so he has room to grow still. But yeah, 80% that he can now use safely, add on Fajin to that. Oh, you got a bad mother on there in terms of physical strength, and not to mention Gear Shift and what you can do with ninja tools in Gear Shift, and Smokescreen for messing with everyone, plus a more mastered practice hand at Black Whip, including being able to reinforce his bones, things like Midoriya was doing. And then you factor in his ninja training and improving his hand-to-hand combat skills, working with the clones more, learning to actually do the Rasengan one-handed and the Great Ball Rasengan. You could probably even make a really great Ball Rasengan using Black Whip to help contain the Rasengan energy. There would also be the question of the Nine Tails. How much control does Naruto have? Because you have to believe with 6 vestiges. Yeah, I can count. 6 vestiges in his head, also in his mindscape and there to help him out. They would be able to help rein Kurama in pretty well. They're not stronger than Kurama as a whole, but like with one, we know Naruto lost a certain level of control with each subsequent tail, and that with the seal weakens every time he used it. But I would imagine like he would be able to handle 3-tailed probably as well as he handles 1 tail now. The question just would be then, are they able to keep Kurama at bay when he goes into the 4-tail mode? I will say this. I think there's at least some level of Naruto still there. But, like, he could identify friend from foe once they were able to step in and kind of rein Kurama in a little bit. And then Jiraiya was able to help make their chakra recede, whatever. But it's not something Naruto wants to use. So that's where I say they'd be. And Kurama hates these vestiges. That, I think, is because it's like, meddling in my way, you stupid Lincoln. And luckily they're able to use their quirks to also keep Kurama at bay, because they have their quirks inside their head, or inside his body, inside his head. Anyway, Naruto meets up. He meets up with Sakura again. He meets up with Sasuke again. As it got stronger, you just wait, duck butt. It's good to see you. They have their training tests. I always skip over the training test. The bell, the bell test. What would you call that? The secondary test with the bell. Let's call it that. And they have that. And I never go over it anymore because it's basically just, we know it's going to end with them basically being accepted and, it being like, oh, you got stronger. Good. Well, awesome. So we know that's how it's going to end. So I don't really go over it anymore. We would then cut to Gaara being captured by the Akatsuki, and then Naruto and Team 7 receiving the mission to go rescue the Kazekage. Naruto should also know Naruto's probably a lot more matured up here compared to where he was in the original, and he's a lot more matured up to begin with. Still stupid, making goofy statements like, hey, I got a new perfect jutsu, but still more matured up than he was in part 1. However, here he's also had the aid not just of Jiraiya, but Nana, Bancha, all the previous One for All users. And so he's a lot more, he's still Naruto, he's still definitely going to be a bit more gung-ho and a little hot-headed at points, like going to rescue Gaara, being persuaded by his emotions, I guess is the best way to put it. So they meet up with Tamari. He explains that he is the container of the nine-tailed fox, and Tamari thanks him. They go and they rescue. They go on a rescue. They go to meet up with the sand. Sakura would have trained under Tsunade at this point. I do believe that, because she would have felt like even though she has a lot of genjutsu capabilities, she's lacking on. She's still the weak member of the team by a long margin. She was, and probably still is. Let's be honest. Should also note Sasuke is still exceptionally powerful. 3 Tomais. He is not as. A lot of people do bring this up. He isn't really as strong as he is per se physically. When he went to Orochimaru, because Orochimaru like pumped him, also did a lot of drugs and basically performance enhancers with Sasuke. Here that didn't happen, and so Sasuke doesn't have, say, the physical or stamina or chakra reserves to say he did in the original. Although to keep up with Naruto, he certainly trained his ass off to have a considerable amount regardless. And Sasuke always did have a good reserve. It's not like he had his low reserve. He always had a good reserve. He just doesn't quite have what he, like, again, the physicality and probably the chakra reserves he had with Orochimaru, because, again, there was literal drug manipulation involved. But he does still have a lot of his, like, clutch techniques, including the Kirin. He knows he's probably learned to set that up, has a sword on him. So they get there. Granny Chiyo checks. Naruto gets in the way. Sakura goes to aid Kankuro. All's well. So nothing major has happened yet. The big first change, we should say, would be when Itachi shows up. And because Naruto has the other vestiges in his head, someone brought this up, that doesn't make Naruto necessarily immune to genjutsu, but it's similar to a tail beast scenario where because it's a different presence in his mind that could maybe disrupt his chakra system to some degree, it does give him a more higher resistance to it. Once he becomes a perfect Jinchuriki, yeah, then he's more or less immune to it, unless it's like Tsukuyomi. And even then, you could theoretically get out of Tsukuyomi, but it's all happening within like the span of an instant. So like literally like microseconds can happen. And it's nuts, Tsukuyomi. But theoretically, you could get out of Tsukuyomi. Even as a tail beast, the only genjutsu I know for a fact you can't get out of is the infinite Tsukuyomi, because Naruto, even being a perfect Jinchuriki, had to be blocked by Sasuke Susanoo in order to not be exposed to the light and be caught in that genjutsu. So that'd be the end. Even Killer B got caught in it, who is a perfect Jinchuriki. So we know for a fact that genjutsu tail beasts are not immune to. Regardless, Itachi tells him, it's like, I don't need the Mangekyo to put you in genjutsu. I don't use this finger. To which immediately they, out in his head, they all say, he just put us under a genjutsu, literally right now. And he just pops out of it. And Itachi's eyes just go, it's like, I see. So I was like, yeah, you're not going to, and Naruto suddenly got a black whip activated, kind of like swirling around his hands. You're not going to get me that easy. Besides, you've got other problems to deal with. And Sasuke's just like, Itachi. It's like, I see. So, little brother, have you cultivated enough hate yet, or have you been relying on your friends? It's like, I've cultivated all I need. And he activates the Chidori, and I swear I will kill you. And I'm like, well, take your best. And all of a sudden, he sees the Chidori spear come. I was like, ugh! And all of a sudden, Naruto grabs him with a black whip. Just like, yeah, you're not going anywhere. And then all of a sudden, he gets stabbed again. Just it's like, that was really easy because, yeah, this is not Itachi. He's actually, I think they say they only use what was it, a quarter or a third of their actual chakra reserves to make those duplicates. I can't remember the actual amount it was, but it was a hefty amount of their normal reserves. So, yeah, basically, yeah, they just quickly, because Itachi now isn't able to put any of these guys in genjutsu, and there's more than enough of them to take them on, so this Itachi is taken out pretty quick, only for them to realize it's not the real Itachi. It's like, and Sasuke is just pissed off. I was wondering why that didn't feel right. It's some sort of a copy jutsu, or they never do explain how that jutsu really works. It's a specialized transformation. I was like, we need to get going. We're wasting enough time, right? And again, Naruto could get there near an instant with gear shift, but again, that's not smart to use at this moment. And B, he's being a team player. They get there. Unfortunately, Gaara is near death. And Naruto, for all of his control and all the vestiges in his head, say, no, just like, Naruto, stay. keep calm. It's like, "Argh!" It's like, get Gaara back. It's like, come and get him. And all of a sudden, it's like Naruto just boom blasts up in the air. Like Naruto probably is like knows how to temper his power when he needs to. And Naruto's not going to use Fajin unless he needs. Like Fajin is one of those things where he's up against the wall and needs the extra boost. By the way, for those of you who still to this day don't know what any of these quirks do, I mean, we know what I've gone over what Black Whip does. It's an energy-based quirk that lets you bring out these black, greenish, actually it's red in the anime, but greenish whips because Midoriya's hair color is green, whatever. For grabbing, grappling. Actually, it's a great quirk. Float literally just makes you float. Now, when you combine that with the air gust from One for All because of the sheer strength, you can fly with that. Danger Sense is basically Spider-Man's spider sense. It lets you detect nearby threats. You have to react to them, and it kind of feels like a lightning bolt through your head, electricity. Smoke Screen, Naruto hasn't used yet, but it literally is just you can generate thick clouds of smoke, purple smoke from your body, and probably similar to like secreting it from your sweat glands. Fajin is Fajin's kind of one of my favorites of this. It's very cool. Basically, you store up kinetic energy by performing repetitive movements, and that energy can be released in explosive bursts of power and speed. It's kind of like building up a Kaioken over time and then unleashing it. This is how Midoriya was able to skirt using 100% of his actual One for All, because actual 100% would break his body, but using Fajin allows him to kind of do like a multiplier on that to some degree. And then Gear Shift basically allows you to alter the speed of anything you touch, allowing him to accelerate to the force of a target either by enhancing the impact of the force of their own strikes, or causing the strike target to lose their own velocity. It actually ignores velocity. You literally stop dead in your tracks, don't even jerk, and just what? Now imagine you do that with, like, say, a bullet. You touch the bullet, you shoot the bullet, and the bullet just almost. You literally are breaking the fabric of reality, like the laws of reality. Literally, you're breaking the laws of physics with Gear Shift when used by Midoriya because it's enhanced. But Fajin was one of my favorite ones, and Naruto. It's probably built up a lot of Fajin training over 3 years, practicing with it. Because remember, repetitive movement isn't just going like, ha, 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 ha. Like, that's repetitive movement. But even just walking around, that is repetitive movement. Like doing basic exercise, which Naruto probably does every single day. That's repetitive movement. Hell, technically speaking, even your heartbeat is repetitive movement. So hypothetically, if you were to, I guess, awaken Fajin, that would be like the true pinnacle of Fajin, is like every single minute movement of repetitive movement in your body is going towards that. But I mean, that's, to be fair, that's assuming you don't have any regular heartbeat. But that's, I'm pushing it a little far with that. I admit that. But still, Naruto still has 80% One for All with no downside. So he's able to just launch it quickly, and he literally just catches the Data and just boom! Data just goes straight into the ground. His jaw's basically broken. Naruto's probably only using about 40%. And by the way, like I said, like I've been saying, those previous percentages, like his 15, 20, have also increased in power because he's just gotten stronger. So there's that as well. But Naruto literally just lands a punch, probably going only, like I said, 40% of his power. Now, half of his full power right now, but he's also angry as hell. And I think his inner vestiges are keeping the Nine-Tails chakra from influencing him in any way. So Naruto comes in and just rips apart. He just has Gaara, and Dana just, holy crap, that kid, what the hell? He's fast. And even everyone else saw that. It's like, whoa. Like, he got that strong? All right, we got to still deal with Sasori. And that's Sasuke, Sakura, Chiyo's duty. Kakashi's there to keep Naruto in check so he doesn't go off the reins. And he goes over there to check on Naruto. He's like, it's okay, Naruto. We can save him. I'm sure we can. It's not too late. And Naruto's just, he's right, Naruto. You need to calm down. Naruto's, he's got the nine-tail fox chakra in his nine-tail eyes in his eyes. Just, but he's reining in his you. It's like, you're not going anywhere, Akatsuki. And he's able, Data, I keep saying Data. Like, go, Gabite. Gagagi go, Gagagi go, go Gagagi go. If you know Yu-Gi-Oh at all, Jesus, those names. Or by the Bubba Buncho or the Bubba Sorcerer. God, names. Like, where do they come up with these names? But Naruto's like, it's like, you're not going to be taking any other Jinchuriki. We already got the kid. Kid, like, he's just trying to talk. Oh, God, this hurts. You really think I'm scared of you? And Naruto just kind of like flexes a little bit of chakra. Now he's got a little nine tails on him. Chakra's coming off him, but it's a controlled amount. And he's also got Black Whip kind of just coming off. I was like, I don't know. Are you? And his voice is good. And Data's like, because he's not just charging at him recklessly. That's a cold look of hatred in Naruto's eyes right now. Just like, I am going to end your shit kind of look. And Kakashi, it's like, Kakashi Sensei, it's your mission. To which Naruto surprisingly says, "Your mission leader, Kakashi. Do I kill him? Do we capture him? What do we do? If we can get," to which Kakashi's a little surprised, but he also gets serious. Like, if we can capture him alive, it's going to be a lot more useful to us than him dead. Understood. I'll just knock him out cold. It's like, crap. And Data immediately just, nope. Actually, he's missing an arm at that point, so he's like, gets his clay back, like, nope, and just throws a bunch of explosives. Like, not getting me that easy. To which Naruto's just looking at him, and Naruto's danger sense goes off, covers them with Black Whip, boom, a big explosion. Naruto sends a couple clones after him, and they quickly catch up to him. It's like, crap, this is not good. And quickly he's surrounded. Did you really think you could get away? It's like, you're not getting away. There's no way after what you did, you're getting away. You're going to leave your friend there? Really? You seem to care, but you left his corpse there all by himself, which Naruto surprising, because like, you really think I'm the real one? Well, the real one's there caring for our friend. Yeah, and unlike you, who's all alone, no friends at all. And to which Data actually does take the little exception. As he doesn't always agree with Sasori, but he respects Sasori. And so he's like, you little brat. But if you think I'm done, or if you think I'm going down, that you're taking me alive, you've got another thing coming. He just eats the clay and turns into the bomb. Now, the question would have been, in the first one, when do we think he swapped places with the clay clone? It would have had to have been when he fell from the bird. Either that. Yeah, it would have had to have been when he fell from the bird, because we do lose him for a second. So that's probably when it would have to have been. So that's there. Here, Data probably actually swapped out, made a clay clone when he bolted, and the clay clone was the one they ran into. And so Kakashi and Naruto's like, crap, we got to get out of here right now. And Kakashi doesn't have enough time to activate his Mangekyo, hasn't built up enough chakra for it. Naruto is like, this is not good. And he basically activates, almost like a Super Saiyan transformation, goes into the one-tailed cloak, and then activates Black Whip, and even activates Rasengan. Like, he's doing everything he can. Basically, he's doing everything he can to actually contain the explosion. Like, Black Whip is basically giant strands of black energy, but in theory, you could widen out the strands and make kind of like a wall, if you really put your mind to it, I guess. And that's what the Naruto, he makes a bunch of clones. They more or less make a Black Whip net to contain the explosion, and just funneling Nine-Tails chakra into there. They're even funneling a little Fajin into there just to strengthen it out. Just, and then the dust settles, and Data says, Data is dead. Just, crap, that was close. And then poof, the clones pop out. Kakashi is like, you're right. So Naruto, how strong have you gotten? They get back there. Naruto's dealing with Gaara, and like, Naruto, Gaara's not going anywhere. We need to help them in there. And they quickly see the massive pubs, like, crap. And he quickly gets a kunai ready, because he's got an idea, but he needs to know. It's like, does this guy have a weak point? And it's like, what are you talking about, Brett? And so he's nothing but a puppy. He's got to have some sort of weak point, to which Trio points out, he has that core right there. If you can hit that core, that would be the end of him. And Sasuke, and basically, Naruto basically hands the kunai to Sasuke, because once you've touched something with Gear Shift, that's it. You can manipulate its speed, more or less. I don't know. Well, let me confirm that real quick. I don't know if you need to touch something again. That's the one thing I've never quite been able to figure out about gear shift. If you touch something with gear shift, do you need to touch it again? Okay, gear shift allows the user to change the speed of things at which they accelerate. It's even capable of changing speeds while ignoring the laws of inertia. Usage primarily controls the speed trajectory of bullets, which is fired out of a gauntlet. Its arm, despite the limitations of the meta ability, appears to have a good amount of control over it, able to use it while being choked out by One for All, although it ultimately was shown to not be considered a threat for the villain. Okay, wait. So yeah, no, you don't need to touch something again to change its speed, because I remember that scene now in the manga where the bullet came through the air. He clearly changed its inertia, so it was more or less standing still, and then he activated the speed of the bullet again. So you don't need to touch something to activate it again. You just need to touch it once, more or less, which is key for this moment. Because Naruto, for his skill, wouldn't be able to have that kind of accuracy, but someone with a Sharingan would. And Sasuke, who's probably been like fighting and struggling with these puppets, maybe he's been given one of the antidotes. He has the Sasuke, aim for it. And it's like, aim for the core. And Sasuke's like, right. And he just without a word, he just, and the minute he lets go of it, it just. And like, obviously Sasuke doesn't actually feel pain per se, although he was bleeding from his mouth, surprisingly. So there was somehow blood there, regardless, and maybe just because it was where it was. And it's like, what happened? So I changed one of the abilities I learned with my One for All. He's also explained One for All to them at this point because they're friends. They trust each other. It's called Gear Shift. Allows me to change the actual speed and velocity of a target after I touch it, even if it's in mid-flight. And Sasha just like, and all the puppets just drops it. There's some dangerous ability indeed, Naruto was mocking. So this is what dying feels like. How interesting. And obviously Chio is mourning the loss of her grandson again. And, Sasha's like, it's like, would you want to try? And Sakura punches them. They basically have their whole, have it out with each other. And it's like, you have to think. It would meet my end like this. Still, you deserve something for your victory, and so I'll tell you a secret. I was meeting one of my associates, a spy for Orochimaru, at the Tenchi Bridge. I think it's the Tenchi Bridge. Tenchi Bridge at this date, and then he dies. Everyone's just happy, but Naruto's just sad. Like, damn, is there anything we could do? There is maybe one thing we could do. And Granny Chio had to think. I don't have enough chakra. Naruto puts his chakra on there. It's like to think. This new world is something impressive indeed. And so Gaara is saved. Chio gives her life. Everyone say a prayer for Granny Chio. And Gaara and Naruto leave. Kakashi is fine, by the way. Didn't have to use his Mangekyo at all. So that is the end of part 9. We can, whatever the Tenchi Bridge arc leading into that is, we'll deal with that on Wednesday. Until then, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll see you folks next time. Later.